Hopping on here once again to just talk about how, I watched another short video about how they had two honest, good character men who put their lives on the line to basically catch a child predator that was 28 years old and who was preparing to meet a 13-year-old boy at a Walmart grocery store. Now, the twist to this is that it wasn't actually a real 13-year-old boy that he was conversing with on social media. It was actually a decoy. It was a decoy profile that was set up as a profile for a minor on social media by these two good character men. Or should I say good men who have morals, obviously. But with that being said, that just proves my point in the last video that I made about how it really does take a village to make sure that our children are safe. So just imagine had that situation actually played out where that 28-year-old man that was waiting to meet up with a 13-year-old boy that was a decoy that he wasn't aware of at the time. Just imagine if that actually was somebody's 13-year-old son that he was going to meet up with at a Walmart grocery store. Y'all, we have to stay vigilant out here, meaning that we have to stay aware out here, okay? And this was 3 years ago. So it hasn't been that long, okay? And they're becoming bolder. Yes, they're becoming very bold nowadays. With that being said, we as a community have to keep our integrity to our children, keep our integrity to keeping our children pure on every level. We cannot be too afraid to let these child predators know that we see them the same way that they'll watch us. Sometimes they don't even watch us to learn our daily routine with our children. Sometimes they'll just watch our children on social media. Got to be careful with this social media, especially because it is open to all ages now, which I don't think that's safe. It's not. It's not safe at all, especially for our children. No, it's not safe at all for the simple fact that, again, like I mentioned before, that gives child predators easy access to our children to meet up at public places like Walmart, a grocery store where they have countless child photos on a board by the restrooms showing how many children end up missing every single day. Every single day. End up missing and then most likely find themselves being exploited for evil purposes by a lot of these child predators out here. And so my thing is, one thing we have to ask ourselves as parents is, are we willing to risk being put in an uncomfortable position while catching a child predator before they offend and corrupt or try to offend and corrupt our children as well as other people's children, which they are our children too? Are we willing to take a risk of feeling uncomfortable doing so to make sure that these type of people get put away so that they will not victimize, corrupt, and tarnish our children's lives? Or are we willing to risk the permanent effects of a child being traumatized, being tampered with in a very inappropriate and sadistic way? Risk our children becoming spiritually broken and then becoming offenders themselves. And I had to mention that because This in no way excuses this inappropriate behavior that child predators exhibit with children. But we also have to dig deeper and think about, okay, what was this child predator exposed to as a child? Who preyed on them? Who preyed on them? Because in most cases, I believe, in my personal opinion, I believe that most child predators, and this in no way means that I sympathize with them, but I just simply try to understand where the patterns of behavior come from, because no child is born into the world a predator. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I honestly do not believe that. I do believe that in most cases, when a person, a man or a woman, is a predator, I personally believe that at some point in their life as children, they were preyed on in some kind of way. Whether it was touching, inappropriate touching, whether it was being exposed to content that's labeled as adult content, but truth be told, shouldn't even be content for adults as well, because there's nothing healthy about filth. I'll call it that. But hey, people have free will to do whatever they want. But it's all about, what was this person exposed to as a child? Were they exposed to content that's inappropriate, that's not for kids? Were they touched? Were they actually SA or the R word? Were they even the M word? We have to think about that, because in some cases, child predators who prey on children, they were preyed on. But with that being said, that concludes this video. And yeah, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop, because I love children. I love children with everything in me. And like I've said before in previous videos, my personal experience with what happened to my child in front of my face will never leave my subconscious mind, because that's where our memory is. It will stick with me for the rest of my life. So, and I'm trying to just use this platform to, increase the awareness of what happened to me and my son personally recently, so that I can help other parents and other people who have nephews and nieces, younger cousins, to just become aware of just how bold a lot of these child predators are becoming. And they have no shame. No shame at all. They're not hiding anymore. So we have to do what we have to do as a village, like I said, to protect our children's purity, to protect our children's innocence. Our integrity definitely should go to keeping our children safe in every way possible. But that's it for now. Y'all will definitely see more content like this.